Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Girl Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on TikTok, hit me up in the community post, man. You already know how I get down. And I'm back at you with your Friday night Smackdown review from Boston, Massachusetts. And I gotta say, man, Smackdown was pretty good. Smackdown was cooking tonight, man. I can't even lie to you. We're getting more Bloodline stories. We're getting a whole bunch of stable storylines for the Judgment Day and Bobby Lashley and his crew and the OC. There's a lot of stuff going on. But we're going to kick it off with the women's match. It was a women's tag team match between Damage Control and Shotzi and Charlotte. And this is a fun match. Asuka's back. Asuka appeared out of nowhere. She surprised Damage Control, causing a little bit of distraction. And Shotzi got the win over Bayley. This is like the second time I think Shotzi has pinned Bayley. So that's pretty cool. That's a good look. Shotzi ended up winning for her team. And then after the match, you had a face-to-face confrontation between Io Sky and Asuka. And I'm like, yo, let's go. Give it to me. Give it to me right now. Let's reformat the whole show. I don't care what you got going on. Give me this match right now. We're not getting the match right now. Later in the night, you had Io Sky actually lay the challenge out for Asuka, and then Asuka accepted. So I think they said in 2 weeks, it's going to be Asuka versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship on SmackDown. So that should be a fire match. Now, in typical WWE fashion, I don't expect this to be clean. I don't expect this to be, anything straightforward. I expect there's to be some type of shenanigans, either involving Charlotte or Bayley, or somebody's gonna get involved, and it's not gonna be a clean finish. But for what little time they most likely will get, it should be a fine match, and most likely it will lead to a rematch at, I think the next PLE is Fastlane, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, man, Asuka versus Io Sky in 2 weeks. So next up, we just had a whole bunch of LA Knight content. First things first, he came out to cut a promo to the crowd. Yeah. Then you had Grayson Waller and Austin Theory come out. Yeah. They talked for a little bit. LA Knight cooked those two jabronis up a little bit. And then this led to the match between LA Knight and Austin Theory. And I actually really enjoy the team of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I think that Grayson Waller said that their tag team name is going to be A-Town Down Under. And alright, that's cute. That's pretty cute. Also, Grayson Waller mentioned that next week, John Cena will return to SmackDown, and he's going to be on the Grayson Waller effect. So we get to see the GOAT again. We're going to be seeing a whole lot more of John Cena. And this is my prediction. This is what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be the team of John Cena and LA Knight taking on the team of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That's my prediction. If I'm wrong, I'll do absolutely nothing about it. But if I'm right, I'll also do nothing about it. LA Knight ended up getting the win. Grayson Waller tried his best to, help out his buddy and cause him a little bit of distraction. He even tried to remove the top turnbuckle pad from the turnbuckle, but it didn't work. LA Knight wins. And then you saw Paul Heyman talking to Adam Pearce, but LA Knight interrupted. He said that he wants his rematch against The Miz. That's going to take place next week on SmackDown. And even had a little bit of interaction between LA Knight and Paul Heyman. So that was like, it's going to be interesting. So, maybe we get some interaction between the old Tribal Chief and LA Knight somewhere in the near future. Speaking of the Tribal Chief, you had some people come up on SmackDown to lay down a little bit of disrespect for the Bloodline, for the Tribal Chief, for the Universal Champion. You had the Judgment Day come out, and Damian Priest was talking that big boy stuff, talking about how the Damian Priest and Finn Balor were able to do something that not only the Bloodline couldn't do, but Roman Reigns couldn't do, and that's beat Sami Zayn for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. I'm like, ooh. And then you also have the fact that Damian Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank, and I'm like, ooh. But then you have the Brawling Brutes come out and they interrupt the Judgment Day, typical rise for the Judgment Day. Dominic gets booed, and Finn Balor just stands there looking cool with his cool sneakers. Rhea Ripley wasn't there. I missed her very much. But we did get a tag team match between the Brawling Brutes and Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And this was fun. This was a pretty straightforward match. And you already know you had Dominic Mysterio causing distraction, running amok, running around with his mullet, Eddie Guerrero's son, just doing his thing. The Judgment Day ended up getting the win with the coup de grace, and this is something that kind of bothers me. I always feel like they're pronouncing it wrong. I feel like it's coup de grace, but they always say coup de grace, and they put the emphasis on the S or the C, or however you spell gra, but I don't know. But Judgment Day ended up getting the win, and then after this, the Judgment Day, they're standing tall, they're holding up their championships and their briefcase and whatnot, and then, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits come out and they confront the Judgment Day. I'm like, ooh, let's go! So we're getting more shenanigans, we're getting more stable warfare. The Street Profits are letting it be known that, listen, we want the gold, sucker. We coming for you, nigga. So hopefully this leads to something between the Street Profits and the Judgment Day. And then you have LWO, they're out there somewhere. So we're getting a whole bunch of stables interacting with each other, and I'm here for it. Some stable warfare, we're getting some brawls, we're getting some shenanigans, all types of cool things going on in this episode of SmackDown. And speaking of stables, man, once again, you had AJ Styles talking to the OC, because earlier in the evening, Jimmy Uso put the beats to AJ Styles, and AJ's mad. He's like, yo, where were y'all? How come y'all weren't out there to help me, man? I got beat up by James Uso. What's really good? Speaking of Jimmy Uso, man, he's going through a lot with life right now. He's trying to work his way back into the bloodline. The story I guess that they're telling is that the grass isn't always greener wherever you go, because Jimmy was the first one that laid the shot out. He laid the super kick out to Roman Reigns. He got his brother to leave the bloodline, and now that Jay was on Raw, living his best life, and Roman Reigns is still the tribal chief, and Solo, he's still looking mad all the time, looking like he's got a poop or whatever. Jimmy's like, yo, man, this isn't as good as I thought it would be. Everything isn't as sweet, man. I kind of miss the protection of the bloodline. So now he's trying to weasel his way back in. He was trying to talk to Paul Heyman early in the night. He put his We the One shirt back on, looking like Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats, talking about something. Now it was like this, I'm back in, man. And technically I never left, you know what I'm saying? I never technically left. And Paul's like, listen, I'm going to see what I can do, man. Just win your match against AJ Styles, and I'm going to try to talk to the tribal chief. And Jimmy goes up for the dab, and Paul Heyman walks off. So this leads to the main event match, AJ Styles and Jimmy Uso, and they're cooking a little bit. And like I said, man, they're telling the story about how Jimmy is not really used to being on his own like his brother is, because Jay got a little bit of a run while Jimmy was injured, so he's kind of more used to being a single superstar, while Jimmy's still used to having his brother, having his cousin, having his other brother in Solo. So he's still trying to find his way in the world of wrestling, in the world wrestling entertainment. And he's not really having all that good of a go at it. And during the match, you have Solo and Paul Heyman come out, and Jimmy's like, yeah, we the ones. He's throwing up the ones, and Solo's like, nah, I'm just gonna stick my thumb in your face as soon as I get the chance. And as this match is happening, man, AJ is getting the upper hand. He ends up getting the win over Jimmy, and Solo's like, bro, this motherfucker here. Solo goes to try to attack AJ, but AJ gets out of the way, gets out of the ring, and he's celebrating. And of all people to come out to interfere is the Judgment Day. They end up beating up AJ Styles, throw him back in the ring for Solo, and Solo thumbs AJ. And I'm kind of like, okay. So we had Judgment Day kind of talking trash earlier, but they kind of see that there's strength in numbers possibly. So they're trying to align with the bloodline. I'm kind of making sense of what they're doing with Jimmy, but the whole interaction between the Judgment Day and bloodline is not making sense to me yet. But I'm gonna give WWE an opportunity to make this make sense, explain it to me, explain it to us, to the Heroverse, the WWE universe, and make this whole thing make sense. But yeah, SmackDown was fun. It was a fun night of graps. I was here for it, man. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna give SmackDown an honorary W. Fun show. Good to see that they're trying to build up Jimmy as his own man, being a solo superstar, even with this whole storyline with the bloodline. I still kind of see, Jimmy, either Roman, says, nah, you can't come back in. You kicked me in the face, man. Either that or Jimmy's going to try to take over. He's going to try to become the tribal chief. Something's going to happen. It's not going to be a clear family reunion when it comes to Jimmy and Roman. There's going to be some type of shenanigans. And then you also have the added factor of the Judgment Day, and then the Street Profits, and then the OC. So it's some interesting things going on in SmackDown. Also, you have Io Sky and Asuka cooking, man. Wrestling is fun. Also, wrestling is for, you already know the rest. But with that being said, man, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Bees, I'm out. Peace.